Shalom Yasharallah. Kal Halal, Abba, Hayahaya, Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. I'm King Obadiah, bringing to the 12 Israelite tribes the Most High's truth of Yahawashi's 144,000 Israelite queens that will be crowned with Yahawashi's 144,000 Israelite kings. Therefore, let's get started revealing Yahawashi's 144,000 Israelite queens. Revelation 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, which means Yahawashi's 144,000 elect are all Israelite descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, of the house of Jacob, named Israel, of the southern kingdom of Judah, and the northern kingdom of Israel. Genesis 1, verse 27. So the Most High Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahawashi created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh Yahawashi created he him. Male and female created he them. And this, Israelites, is where the 144,000 kings that are male and the 144,000 queens that are female originate from by Yahweh Yahawashi. 2 Kings 10, verse 13. And we go down to salute the children of the Israelite king, who is a king of Judah, and the children of the Israelite queen, who is a queen of Judah. Psalm 45, starting at verse 9. King's daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. In the kingdom of heaven, 144,000 Israelite kings will sit on thrones in the kingdom, and at the right hand of 144,000 Israelite kings will stand 144,000 Israelite queens in gold of Ophir. Verse 9 is referencing kings' daughters who are Israelite princesses, and the Israelite queen at the right hand of the Israelite king. Verse 13, the king's daughter, an Israelite princess, is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold. Therefore, we have the Israelite queen adorned in gold, and the Israelite princess adorned in gold. Esther 5, verses 1 and 2, where Esther represents an Israelite queen and the woman of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now it came to pass that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood key word, stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house. Verse 1 represents the Israelite king sitting upon his royal throne, and Queen Esther, the Israelite queen, standing in the inner court of the king's house, where the king's house is a literal palace. And it was so, when the Israelite king saw Esther, the Israelite queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. To the 12 Israelite tribes, let it be known that the Israelite king is sitting upon his royal throne in the royal palace. And Esther, the Israelite queen, is standing in the inner court of the king's palace. And Esther, the Israelite queen, obtained favor in her Israelite king's sight. Esther 2, verse 17. In verse 17, Esther represents an Israelite queen and the woman of the 12 Israelite tribes, pregnant with Hamashiach Yahawashi, the child in the womb of the tribe of Judah, of the 12 tribes of Israel, that is prophesied to be born and delivered of an Israelite virgin. And Vashti represents a queen of the Gentiles, and all the nations of the Gentiles combined. Therefore, to the 12 Israelite tribes, Esther represents the Israelites of the 12 tribes of Israel, and Vashti represents the Gentiles and all the nations of the Gentiles combined. And now that we have the true understanding on Queen Esther and Queen Vashti, we are able to get the true understanding of verse 17. And the Israelite king loved Esther, the Israelite queen, above, not equal to, but above all the women of the Gentiles and the nations of the Gentiles. And she, the Israelite queen, obtained grace and favor in his sight more, not equal to, but more than all the virgins of the Gentiles and the nations of the Gentiles combined, so that he, the Israelite king, set the royal crown upon her Israelite head and made her, Esther, an Israelite queen instead of Vashti, a Gentile queen. So, to my Israelite brothers and sisters, what happened in verse 17 is this: the Most High Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Father and the Son, has taken the kingdom of heaven away from the Gentiles and given the kingdom of heaven in heaven and on earth to the Israelites. Again, the Father and the Son has taken the kingdom of heaven of the kingdom of the Gentiles away from the Gentiles and given the kingdom of heaven of the Israelites to the Israelites. Again, the Most High Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Father and the Son, has taken the kingdom of heaven of the Gentiles away from the Gentiles at the end of the times of the Gentiles, and given the kingdom of heaven of the Israelites in heaven and on earth to the Israelites at the beginning of the kingdom of heaven to the Israelites. Therefore, when the kingdom of heaven ends for the Gentiles, then the kingdom of heaven begins for the Israelites. Thus, the Gentiles and nations of the Gentiles lose their Gentile kingdom, and the kingdom of the Israelites, of the chosen Israelite nation of the Most High Yahweh, begins. Therefore, the Gentiles lose their Gentile kingdom, and the Israelites gain their Israelite kingdom. It is imperative to understand that the Gentile kingdom does not belong to the Israelites, and in the same way that the Gentile kingdom does not belong to the Israelites, the Israelite kingdom of heaven in heaven and on earth does not belong to the Gentiles. So when the Gentile kingdom ends and the nations of the Gentiles and their kingdoms are destroyed, the Gentiles that are left will be forced to submit to an Israelite kingdom that does not belong to the Gentiles, but belongs to the 12 tribes of Israel, of the chosen Israelite nation of the Most High Yahweh, and blessed by Hamashiach Yahawashi. I'm King Obadiah, bringing to the 12 tribes of Israel the truth and wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the word of Yahweh and blessing of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Come Yasharallah, Shalom, Israel.